Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope that you're doing well. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about 10 different fragrances that everyday people go crazy for. Now, I am not an everyday person when it comes to fragrances, which you can kind of tell by all that going on behind me. And if you could see the rest of it over there and over there and over there, you would get the point. I'm not the average person that's marketed toward for fragrances. Now, I don't love all these scents here today. Some of them I actually don't really like much at all, but each one of these is amazing at pulling positive attention, compliments, and with versatility for everyday use for 99% of people out there, not the 1% that's weird like me. So let's jump into it. Let's check these bad boys out. We're going to kick it off with the Gucci Guilty. This is the original Eau de Toilette. Gucci Guilty Black also would have worked just as well. This is a line that has caught a lot of flack over the years. You know, it's got a hater here or there, but this fragrance is really, really pleasant. It's fresh, it's clean, a little bit sweet. You got lavender in here, orange blossom and cedar, and a little touch of lemon. So a nice little citrus in the opening for you. It's a fragrance that you could wear to the office really easily. You could wear it on a date. You could wear it out. I mean, most people are going to think of it as more of a daytime scent, but really the versatility here is through the roof. Like I said, fragrance aficionados, not a huge fan of Gucci Guilty. There are multiple reasons for that. One is because it's a fragrance just made to be mass appealing, and a lot of times that is going to be enough to get you on the hate list for some people. Oh man, it's easy to like and wear. Ugh, disgusting. Hand me that poopy oud, please. The other reason is because this came out after Gucci had a run of fragrances that were, frankly, friggin' sick. Sick as in good, not sick as in bleh. Gucci Envy, Gucci Rush, Gucci Pour Homme, both the first and second iterations. Those are classics. And if you go back just a little bit before those, Gucci had some other amazing fragrances that now cost lots of money. So Gucci had this long history of just banger after banger after banger. All of that, you know, it's discontinued. It's in the dustbin of history. What does Gucci come with? This, because they're looking to make that money, frankly. And a lot of people didn't like that. But average everyday people love Gucci Guilty. And then we've got a newer one, Ralph's Club from Ralph Lauren. This one I actually really like. I know that it's a little bit derivative. It has some similarities to fragrances like Y Eau de Parfum from Yves Saint Laurent. It's not the most unique thing on the planet, and yet if you're looking for something that has good performance that you can wear basically anytime, anywhere, that people are going to go nuts over, this will do it. It's got lavender, clary sage, vetiver, and cedar. Definitely has that modern amber woodsy kind of feel to it. A little bit of sweetness in there, but I think it's actually really well done. I think the presentation looks fantastic. The bottle is really nice and classy looking, and that's a release from this last year that, even though a lot of people don't like it, I think it's awesome. And now we got to talk about this one right here, Acqua di Gio Absolute from Giorgio Armani, which has a little bit of a similarity to Invictus Aqua from Paco Rabanne, kind of in the same style. C notes, tonka, citrus, amberwood, some of the notes in this one. Very modern, a little bit of that bubblegummy sweetness to it, offset with some aquatic freshness in the opening there. This one is a surprisingly massive attention puller. I wouldn't have thought it when it first came out. It's a little bit like the Most Wanted by Azzaro. That fragrance came out and I thought, you know, pretty nice, but derivative of other things. And then when I wore it out, it just blew my mind how much attention that thing pulls. This is similar, not in that it smells like the Most Wanted, because it doesn't, but similar in the way that I smelled this and thought, that's pretty derivative, you know, who cares? And then when you wear it out in public, you just get all this positive attention and you go, huh. There must be like MSG in here, something, some kind of secret ingredient. Acqua di Gio Absolute going to trend more toward warm weather usage, but still has that versatility and has the Acqua di Gio name for whatever that's worth. Next on the chopping block, K Eau de Parfum. from Dolce Gabbana. The eau de toilette, in my opinion, becomes almost irrelevant because the eau de parfum is pretty similar to that one, but improved in just about every facet possible. Got blood orange, fig, juniper, and cedar as some of the notes in the fragrance. It's Dolce & Gabbana's blue scent. So going into it, you know what you're getting. You're getting a fragrance that's made to really be worn anywhere, anytime. It's got a bit of this soapiness or shower gel feel to me. It's got a fuzzy kind of warmth to it as well. The blood orange really pops off the top, and the fig gives it an interesting nuance that you don't see used in other blue fragrances typically. Okay, eau de parfum would be my choice. As I said, the eau de toilette I don't really like very much, but this one is pretty good. And then we have to get this out of the way because it's the most obvious thing on earth. Dior Sauvage. This is the eau de toilette. This thing is an ambroxan bomb, so it's going to have this metallic kind of sharpness and freshness when you spray it on. Get a bit of bergamot in there, so you have a citrus tinge, and then you have Sichuan pepper, black pepper, and lavender as other prominent notes. Performance is insane on this fragrance. It lasts forever. It projects like a monster. People will smell this easily. You can wear it anywhere, anytime. There is a reason that this is one of, if not the best selling men's fragrances on the market today, period. And that is, you get pretty much everything with it. You get a massive compliment factor. You have huge performance and versatility where you can pull this off basically anywhere. And I also personally don't think Dior Sauvage really leans too far one way or the other as far as age range goes, so pretty much anybody can pull it off. And if for some reason you thought Sauvage Eau de Toilette was too youthful for you, there's always the Eau de Parfum or the new Elixir. Now this next one I'm not really much of a fan of, but if we're just talking people in general, it's a big time people pleaser. It's Jimmy Choo Urban Hero. So this has leather, ambergris, pepper, and finger lime as some of the notes in the scent. It's very modern in the sense that it has a strong ambergris scent profile. So you've got this kind of amber woody, ambroxany vibe to the scent. It's sweet but fresh, and even though it has leather as one of the main notes in the fragrance, it's not a more classical masculine leather. It doesn't come across dirty or rough around the edges. It does trend a little bit more toward younger guys than older, and that is kind of because of that sweetness that it has, that it leans into. When that came out originally and it was only available at full retail, man, it was the hardest of passes possible. I would point you to probably 50 different things to get instead of that. But now you can find it at discounters for a better price. And at that point, it becomes a much more attractive option to a lot of people out there because, like everything else here, it does have a ton of versatility. Now we got a classic, Fierce from Abercrombie & Fitch, with the guy pulling his pants down just 1 millimeter lower, and it's got musk, fir, vetiver, and citrus. It has been knocked off, or it has inspired lots of other fragrances over the years, probably the most popular being Mont Blanc Legend. So that would be an alternative to Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce if you wanted to save a little bit of money. You might think Fierce is played out. Too many people have bought it. Too many people have worn it. Too many people have smelled it. It doesn't really have much of an effect anymore. And you would be wrong. It actually works pretty much just as well as it ever has as far as drawing people's attention. Lots and lots of guys out there have made this their signature scent, and they still do wear it just as often, and it still works just as well, which is why people keep buying it. Kind of like the original Aqua de Jo. So many people got hooked on that, and then the positive attention they got, and they just kept buying it. And we've got Bad Boy from Carolina Herrera. Now this bottle is it Black Adam Lightning Bolt? Is it AC/DC Lightning Bolt? It's up to you to decide. This has tonka, cacao, amberwood, and black pepper, and this is a little bit different than all the other fragrances here. Most of these have that blue fragrance versatility, daytime, nighttime, any season, that kind of stuff. This is more a fall and wintertime fragrance to most people, and it's more an evening fragrance to most people. And that's gonna be because of that tonka and the cacao, giving it that chocolatey warmth and sweetness that does lend itself more to cooler weather. Bad Boy's another fragrance that maybe doesn't wow me in the sense that I smell it and I go, oh wow, something new, something cool. But when you just take it on the nose for what it is, I guess take it on the nose because it's a fragrance. For what it is, it does what it does well. It's made to be warm. It's made to be sweet. It's made to have that little kick of spice, and it's made to kind of have an alluring nature to it, to be mass appealing. It's not made to change the boundaries of fragrances, move the goalposts. You want a cool weather scent that's warm and inviting, that's gonna get attention? There you go. Now another one that's been out for a minute, Allure Homme Sport from Chanel. It's got orange, vanilla, tonka, and a bit of an aquatic freshness to it as well. It does have a similarity to Versace Pour Homme, so if you don't want to spend the money on this, you could get Versace Pour Homme. There are differences between the two though, just summed up really quickly. Versace Pour Homme is a little bit fresher, a little bit lighter. This one's a little bit sweeter, a little bit creamier. And quality-wise between the two, I'd say this one's a little bit nicer, but not by an astronomical amount or anything. Allure Homme Sport does get overlooked a little bit nowadays for some of the flankers that came after it. Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme or Edition Blanche. Those two fragrances, they get talked about and a little bit of a higher regard than this nowadays. And yet Allure Homme Sport still works very well. And even though it is a sport fragrance, it's not relegated to just daytime use during the summer or gym fragrance only. It's actually got a ton of versatility and that creamy sweetness it has. Creamy sweetness. That makes it where it can work during the cool seasons just as well as the warm. Last but not least, probably, Valentino Womo, Born in Roma. Getting another Invictus style fragrance. This does have, a similarity to Paco Rabanne's Invictus line. Admittedly, I'm not the biggest fan on earth of this fragrance, and part of that is because of how Valentino changed the Womo line up. The fragrances that came before this one, way different, but obviously Valentino saw a need to switch things up. This has ginger, mineral notes, violet leaf, and woods in the scent. It does lean more youthful, which you could probably tell by looking at the bottle, just the whole design, the aesthetic that they went for here. Whether that speaks to a younger crowd more than how their bottles looked before, I'll leave it up to you to decide. I would guess so, because they made the writing pink and they gave it a little spike necklace. Screams youthful to me. But yeah, this is an Invictus style scent. It's made to be worn by younger people to pull big time compliments because it has that bubblegummy kind of sweetness to it. Here offset with kind of a minerality, which they refer to as just mineral notes. It is though quite fresh to go along with that sweetness, as a number of these fragrances are, because that is what people gravitate toward. So I would say, as far as the Valentino Womo line goes, if you're just looking for straight up compliments, you don't care about anything else, Born in Roma and Born in Roma Yellow Dream are going to be your best bet. If you want the nicest, in my opinion, Valentino Womo fragrances, you want to go with Valentino Womo Intense firstly, and then Valentino Womo. And there we have it. 10 different fragrances everyday people go crazy for. Each one of these fragrances in front of me here, they will do wonders at boosting your confidence and having other people notice what you're wearing and say, you smell good. All right, guys, it's gonna do it for me. Thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for all your support. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.